Alright, you lot. Online Safety Act already turned internet into a padded cell with cameras pointing at your ass. And now EU wants chat control. That means every message, every meme, every late night text gets scanned before you even hit send. They call it child protection. I call it pre-crime for WhatsApp groups. It's like burning down your house to keep burglars out. Sure, no burglars, but you stood in rain with fuck all left. Like, subscribe and all that bollocks if you want me tearing this circus apart, because they're not after safety, they're after control. So let's drag this beast into gaming trenches where we've already been used as lab rats. OSA gaming like a steel toe boot through plasma telly. They dressed it up as protecting kids from harm, but what it really did was turn moderation into casino where slot machines are programmed by lobotomized interns. You drop a bit of banter in a chat and boom, flagged. Muted mid-match like you've just declared jihad cause you told your mate to get good. And it gets worse. These companies aren't moderating to be fair, they're moderating to survive. OSA's fines are so brutal that small devs can't afford to risk it, so they built moderation like a riot squad. Better to mute 1,000 players than risk a Daily Mail headline. That's guilt by default. Voice chat gutted, culture drained out like oil from a seized engine. We went from trash talk being an art form to every lobby sounding like a fucking morgue. That's dry run, lads. That's beta test. And if you think chat control's not coming straight for your DMs, you'd have to then add microwave and a spoon. It takes OSA's wrecking ball and straps it to spyware that lives inside your phone. This isn't about stopping predators. This is about training us to self-censor, joke down jokes, and police ourselves cause machine don't understand context. Here's where they start polishing turd and calling it gold. EU's flogging chat controllers for children, which is about as honest as a burglar offering to check your locks for free. Nobody's against stopping predators, that's not debate, but you don't nuke encryption to do it. That's like banning ovens cause some twat once burned his chips. It's lazy, it's cruel, and it's cover for what they're really after, which is total surveillance baked right into your pocket. And real insult, they'll gaslight you into clapping along. You've got naught to hide, you've naught to fear. Bollocks. Privacy ain't about hiding. It's about being able to live without some faceless bastard peering over your shoulder. If you trust Brussels with your dirty jokes, your bank details and your love life, you're either a fool or a politician. So when they say it's for kids, what they mean is, with that perfect shield for authoritarian creep. First it's predators, then it's terrorists, then it's misinformation. By the time they're done, every meme and every insult goes through State Blender before your mate even sees it. That's not safety. That's obedience dressed up as child protection. Here's where the whole thing goes off like a dodgy boiler. False positives. OSA already gave us a taste. Game of silence cause some bot couldn't tell the difference between banter and war crimes. The chat control straps that idiocy to nuclear warhead and drops it straight into your pocket. And you can already feel it. When you step into a lobby now and it's like walking into a morgue. No chatter, no banter, just bots with tasers. Kids mute themselves before they even open the mouths. 10 years back, you'd call your mate a useless tosser for missing a sniper shot. That were banter. That were culture. That were bonding. Instant harassment flag. Bot logs your account. Not a gamer. Probably some middle manager in Dublin who thinks Halo's a brand of shampoo. Picture this. You text your squad, I'll cover you with 50 cal hit tower. That's gaming strap. That's teamwork. But an algorithm dumber than a lump of coal, it's an assassination plot. Flagged. You send plant C4 on bridge, in-game tactics. But scanner is terrorist. Flagged. You crack a joke about dropping bombs on Verdansk. Machine thinks you're Al-Qaeda with a kill streak. Flagged. And you don't even get told. No warning, no chance to explain. Just your number glowing red in some secret Europol spreadsheet. And it's not just gamer slang. Think about your private life. You text your partner, I'll tie you up and ruin you. That's Tuesday night roleplay for you. To scanner, it's violent abuse. Flagged. Your kids swap memes with their mates. Flagged. Your auntie shares holiday photo of your cousin in shorts. Algorithm twitches. Maybe it's illegal. Flagged. Suddenly your entire family's data is boxed, labelled, shoved into a vault because the toaster thought it saw something dodgy. These flags don't just vanish, they stick. They become suspicion that follows you like a fart in an elevator. Law enforcement keeps an eye on you. Job checks raise eyebrows. Border control pulls you aside every trip. All cause you took piss in a COD lobby or sent a flirty text. Welcome to Kafka's Europe, written by a vending machine. And here's real danger. More people get burned, quicker society changes. People stop joking, stop role-playing, stop strategizing openly. You learn to censor yourself because machine don't get context. Context is everything. You're not living freely, you're living nervously. That's real payload of chat control. It's not about catching predators, it's about conditioning you to shut the fuck up. So don't tell me this is safety. False positives ruin lives, and the scale ruin by millions. EU's building a machine that punishes jokes, fantasies, and gaming slang, and acts shocked when culture turns grey and lifeless. It's not a side effect, that's the plan. Now let's rip the lid off at bit nobody in Brussels wants to say out loud. Once you shove a backdoor into people's devices, it ain't just your shiny EU watchdog sniffing around. Every hacker, scammer, stalker and black hat bastard on planet is lining up like it's all you can eat night of data buffet. They call it client-side scanning. That scanner sits inside your phone, poking its nose through everything you type, every photo you send, every file you share. Once it exists, hackers don't need to break encryption anymore. Why smash Vault when EU's already holding the door open? Digital equivalent to leaving your debit card with a pickpocket and trusting him to guard it. History proves this every single time. NSA exploits leaked and got used against ordinary people. Pegasus spyware turned politicians' phones into pocket microphones. Apple's lawful access backdoors didn't stay lawful for long. Every time a government weakens security just for good guys, bad lads are first through breach. Now EU wants to strap that weakness into every phone in Europe. That's not safety, that's lunacy with a press release. And it won't just be crooks. Governments themselves will gorge on it. Today it's for kids, tomorrow it's terrorism, piracy, drugs, protests, misinformation. That last one's jackpot. You can't argue with your government if your government controls what you say, what you see, and who you can share it with. Won't even feel like censorship anymore. It'll just quietly delete your words before they even land. One day you'll send a message slagging off a politician, and it'll vanish like you never wrote it. No fate, no warning, just silence. Gamers, you've already felt tip of this spear. OSA's taught devs it's safer to silence than risk headline. Chat control takes that principle and turbocharges it. Now it's not just lobbies being drained to life, it's your DMs, your group chats, your private jokes, even your dirty texts. EU ain't building a filter, they're building a cultural lobotomy. And its bastard twist, they'll spin it as empowerment. Look how safe you are, no predators here. Same way they spun airport strip searches for protection. Same way they plastered CCTV everywhere and called it peace of mind. You didn't fight back, you just shrugged. Now you've normalised living under surveillance. That's long game. Privacy don't die with a bang, it dies with you shrugging and saying, I suppose it's fine. So ask yourself, when hackers get in, when governments twist it, when your mates joke about dropping bombs in COD lands him in a no-fly list, will you still clap and say, at least it's for kids? Or will you realise too late that you just gift-wrapped your entire life for people who were never meant to have it? It's bottom line. Online Safety Act already gagged gaming chat like duct tape on a hostage. Chat control's about to strip search your private life in the name of safety. This isn't protecting kids, training you to censor yourself, to second guess every joke, every meme, every late night message cause some blind algorithm's got keys to your life. And once you accept that, you don't need police anymore, you police yourself. That's con, that's stitch up, that's how they train you to muzzle yourself while clapping for your own leash. But laws bleed when enough people kick back. OSA's already wobbling under its own bullshit. EU states are breaking ranks on chat control. Belgium's out, Austria's out, even Germany's twitching. Pressure works. Gamers especially need to scream, because we've seen what this bollocks does firsthand. Lobbies muted, jokes throttled, culture bled dry. We shrug, not just games that die. Privacy itself. Front Discord, follow on X, links are in description. Consider a channel membership if you want to keep me ranting instead of flogging VPN codes like I sell at. Smash like, hit subscribe, drop your comments and questions below, especially paranoid ones. They'll age like fine whiskey. And I'll see you next time, you magnificent.